Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we started reading the chaos that Hiranyaksa is creating. And we stopped the Sanskrit phraseology where Hiranyaksa is actually glorifying the Lord because he's a devotee after all, although it looks like an insult. So he's literally saying, lowest of the gods, release the earth. Actually, what he's meaning is, omniscient Lord, do not give up the earth. So sometimes we may ask the Lord something, but actually it may mean something else. So we should be very careful. As long as it's like this, that it appears to be an insult, but actually it's a glorification, it's kind of okay. But imagine if it's the opposite. We are actually glorifying the Lord, and actually it's not glorification. Some days ago, I was discussing about different types of prayers. So there are direct prayers where we directly glorify the Lord, and there are 10 types of prayers, and none of those is a category where we ask for our material desires. So asking for material desires is like an insult to the Lord, because the Lord knows our needs. We don't need to ask them. If you like, then in the channel itself, I think there is a video of the 10 prayers. Otherwise, I'm planning to do a talk about that, 10 types of prayers. So let's continue the reading. Any of you like to start reading from here? Hiranyaksa intercept Varaha. Please. Gokulila, would you like to start reading?
Hiranyaksa intercepted Varaha. He stood before him with his legs splayed and his fists on his hips. This earth has been entrusted to us, the inhabitants of the lower regions. I will certainly give you a good battering if you try and take it in my presence. Varaha chuckled. Unknown to Hiranyaksa, his words again had a dual meaning. The Lord interpreted them as, Brahma has entrusted the earth to you. Despite my presence, you will certainly rescue her. Not only will you take the earth, but you will also take my wealth and kingdom, and by so doing, show me your mercy. Infuriated by the boar's mirth, Hiranyakashipu snarled and said, you have always sided with the gods, and in doing so harmed the demons. You kill my kind, but keeping yourself hidden and using mystic trickery. Now you are face to face, you will not escape. Fool, today I shall enliven my relatives by killing you. Varaha heard him say, the gods have taken shelter of you, since you liberate the demons by slaying them. Although you remain invisible, you are always victorious. You have inconceivable powers and liberate even the friends of those who remember you. Therefore, to destroy my kinsman's suffering, I fixed my mind on you, Lord. You show your kindness to fools by giving them devotion to you. Seeing that Varaha was not in the least cowed, Hiranyaksa became even more enraged. When you fall down dead, your skull smashed by my club, all the sages and gods will also cease to exist. Varaha heard, your skull will withstand the force of my club, and you will deprive me of my weapon. At that time, both the gods and sages will be very much satisfied. The onlooker gods and sages, hearing only Hiranyaksa's threats, let out cries of fear. Seeing them disturbed by the demon's shaft-like insults, Varaha felt a pang of compassion. The earth, seated on his tusks, interpreted his pained look as an indication that he was frightened of the demon and she trembled in terror. To allay her fear, Varaha rose quickly out of the water, just as an elephant emerges with its female companion when assailed by an alligator. Hiranyaksha's fearful tusk cleaved through the water, and his golden hair flew behind him as he pursued the Lord. He resembled a crocodile chasing an elephant. Roaring like thunder, he derided Varaha. Are you not ashamed of fleeing from a challenging adversary? Is nothing reproachable for shameless creatures like you? Varaha heard, shame on me, wicked and selfish. I pursue Lord Varaha, who is lifting the earth for the good of all. What heinous acts will egotistic people like me not do?
If anybody has any questions or comments, we can pause. So please feel free. This part would be the climax of the pastime. Anyone else likes to take over? To Lavati, would you like to read?
I'm just doing prasad distribution here, so I'm prefer to listen because the customers might come and interrupt the reading, if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem. Sister Mach, would you like to read?
Okay. Reaching the ocean surface, Varaha carefully placed the earth on the water and infused her with his own energy so she would float. In the skies, Brahma and other celestials sang Varaha's praises, raining flower petals on him while ignoring Hiranyaksa. Hiranyaksa ceded, his golden armor and bangles flashing. He pursued Varaha, flinging his great mace in the air and screaming obscenities. The gods wailed, why does the Lord not kill him? Brahma said, Varaha could have easily killed Hiranyaksa even while he carried the earth on his tusk. He did not do so because he wants to teach us that we should not fear demonic people while executing our duties. He toys with his demon to show us that protected by him, we have nothing to fear. The gods felt their anxiety somewhat relieved. Feigning anger, Varaha addressed the demon. Indeed, I am a jungle beast and I am searching for dogs like you. Heroes like me never fear the bragging of those bound by the ropes of death. Varaha assumed a mocking tone of lamentation. Since I stole something entrusted to the demons, I flee shamelessly from your club. Reluctantly, I must now make a stand and face you. What choice do I have? As having made an enemy of you, there is nowhere for me to go. Some of the witnessing celestials released Varaha was toying with Hiranyaksa. Realized Varaha was toying with Hiranyaksa. Others worried he may actually be afraid. The Titanic board challenged Hiranyaksa. You command many soldiers, do you not? Why waste time? Try your best to defeat me. Stop. Stop talking foolishly. Only by slaying me will you wipe away your relatives' distress. You may be proud of your prowess, but if you fail to keep your promise to kill me, you are unfit to sit in an assembly of heroes. Mocked in this way, Hiranyaksa trembled with anger like a provoked cobra. Hissing indignantly, the demon sprang upon the Lord, swinging his terrific mace. Like an accomplished yogi eluding death, Vara dodged a violent blow aimed at his chest. He charged Hiranyaksa, who brandished his weapon. His face contorted his rage. Vara swung his own mace at his enemy's brow. Hiranyaksa deflected the blow with his own club. The two enraged combats. both intent on victory, began to land blows on one another. They pounded each other with their weapon for some time. Both bled profusely. Each became infuriated the, sm- at the smell of his own blood. They fought like two maddened bulls contending over a cow. Brahma and the celestial sages crowded the skies, anxiously watching the terrible fight. The demon fought with the great valor. Brahma urged Varaha to exert his power. My dear Lord, this demon is a constant threat to the gods, Brahmins, cows, and all innocent beings who worship you. I once gave him a boon, and since then he harasses and terrorizes everyone, wandering throughout the universe, spoiling for a fight. Vara sportingly continued to parry with Hiranyaksa, as Garuda might toy with a snake. Brahma called out, My lord, please do not play with this demon. He is expert at magic, proud, unpredictable, and wicked. Soon it will be twilight, when the demon's power increases, it will be harder to kill him. Therefore, O infallible one, slay him at once. The auspicious midday hour is almost ended. In the interest of your friends, disposes of this formidable foe. Luckily for us, this demon has come to you for his own accord. His death is ordained by you. Therefore, exhibiting your prowess, kill him in the duel and restore peace to the worlds. Chapter 19, The Killing
Let's
of Demon
pause there.
Hiranyaksa.
Let's pause there 1 second. So these demons, as we can see also in Krishna Leela, Bhaktivinoda Thakur compares every pastime where Krishna kills a demon, it has a connection with our anarthas. And in fact, I have a ladies group of Russians in Mayapur where I've assigned like different pastimes and different anarthas, and for whole Purushottam, every day we have like a class given by one of my Russian students, and we're discussing this in this month. And this pastime is also a representation of that, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. This Hiranyaksha represents that rebellious tendency of human beings, the soul's, let's say, foolishness to be separated from the Lord and try to enjoy separately from the Lord, and coming to this world thinking me and mine, and trying to possess control and power which doesn't belong to us. And Varahadev represents the saving, the rescuing from that mentality. So the mentality to think that I belong in this world, this is me, this is mine, and all the material desires, all our illusions, all our delusions. In another sense, also, Hiranyaksa represents that darkness, the darkness in which we are lost when we don't take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we don't take shelter of the holy name, and we keep taking shelter of our mind, and we keep thinking kartaham miti manyate, we keep thinking I am the doer. There is Bhagavad Gita philosophy, right? Karmanye vadikaraste mapaleshu kadashanam. So we are entitled to perform our duties, but we're not entitled to enjoy the results of it. So there's a difference between working hard for the result and trying to enjoy the result. Sometimes we may misunderstand that as devotees, we shouldn't be attached to the results. No, we should be. We should work towards the result, but not to enjoy the results. So this demon Hiranyaksha, he represents those tendencies and those conditionings and those anarthas which keeps us away from that purity of consciousness, which can help us to align to God's will. So what's essentially happening here is, of course, on a higher level, we all know the secret At Hiranyaksa, he became a demon because of the Lord's will, after all, right? But this demon also represents our weaknesses of this world. And sometimes we need to go to extremes to get rid of them. Sometimes there are addictions that we have, maybe towards food, maybe towards social media, maybe addiction in relationships, maybe we have addiction in, I call it the thinking problem. There are people who have drinking problem. The Alcoholic Anonymous, they have the drinking problem. And I often relate to everything they preach. And I just say it's my thinking problem. It's basically the thing, because we keep thinking and thinking, and we think I'm the doer, it's my life, it's me. We get lost in this addiction of thinking. So this is Hiranyaksha represents that. We're thinking and thinking and thinking. Just surrender our thoughts to Krishna. And sometimes we are powerless. And this position here, you see the climax is beginning in the 19th chapter. So the 18th chapter is like bringing up all those anarthas. So sometimes when our anarthas are exposed, it's a good thing. When we're experiencing pain, it's a good thing. Who says pain is bad? Pain is an indicator that the direction we're going is wrong. It's a good thing. If I keep my hand in fire and it burns me, it's a good thing. If it doesn't burn me, it doesn't hurt me, then I'll burn my whole body, right? So if there is some relationship that's not hurting, or if there is some situation that's not hurting, you may get completely burned. So pain is good. Pain is a reminder that we're going in the wrong direction. And we need to switch our direction. And sometimes the demon needs to be killed, as we'll see in the next chapter. So the thinking addiction needs to be killed by the Lord. Unfortunately, we can transform this thinking. As Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, by invoking the mercy of Lord Varahadev, we can transform our consciousness, because he can lift up our consciousness just like he lifted up Mother Earth. And he can kill all anarthas. He can kill all the anarthas that block us from that transformation. Okay. I can continue the chapter 19 and we'll end in 7 minutes. Chapter 19, the killing of the demon Hiranyaksa. Hiranyaksa meets his end at the Lord's hands. Sutta describes the benefits of hearing about Krishna and his devotees, specifically the pastime of Varaha slaying Hiranyaksa. A full moon cast long shadows across the grassy knoll where Maitreya sat with Vidura. The air had become cool. Vidura huddled closer to the fire. How did Lord Varaha receive Brahma's request? Maitreya said, Brahma's prayers were free of selfish motives. It was out of love for the Lord that he spoke, urging him to kill the demon before twilight increased his strength. Therefore, Varaha relished his prayers to reassure Brahma. He glanced at him with affection. However, the Lord desired to enjoy the fight for a little longer. He decided to wait until nightfall to kill Hiranyaksha. Thus, the terrible fight continued with full force. Vidura leaned forward, keen to hear. Varaha's mace whooshed through the air. Hiranyaksha dexterously parried it, striking it with his own. With a sound like the crash of the thunder of Lord's weapon flew from his hand, blazing brightly as it whirled downwards. Hiranyaksha did not exploit his advantage by striking his unarmed foe. Respecting the law of a single combat, He waited for Varaha to recover his weapon. Varaha's eyes reddened with fury. He became still more keen to fight. The witnessing gods and sages let out a wail of anguish. How was the demon overpowering the Lord? Acknowledging Hiranyaksha's love of righteousness, Varaha summoned his Sudarshana disc, which arrived at once, eager to serve the Lord. Hiranyaksha charged Varaha. I'll pause there. I want to say a point about Sudarshana. Sudarshan is a very intelligent weapon. Unlike all other weapons, which need to be specifically aimed and instructed, Sudarshan Chakra is so intelligent that it doesn't need to be told what to do. It doesn't need to be told what direction, because Sudarshan is a very fully conscious personality. So all the Lord needs to do is just release it. And Sudarshan goes and does the job without even being asked for it. And that's, you remember the pastime of Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. And Sudarshan attacked, he attacked. Wherever Durvasa Muni went, the weapon went there. Wherever he was running up and down, he went to Brahma Loka, Sudarshan weapon was there. He went to Kailash, Sudarshan weapon was behind. So everywhere Durvasa was running around in the three worlds, Sudarshan weapon was right there. So Sudarshan is a very self-conscious weapon. And that's why Sudarshan is worshipped even among the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. I was just in South India and there are temples of Sudarshan. Because he's a great devotee who is very conscious of how to help us, how to protect us, how to help us fight the battles, war in our life. So yeah, we should invoke the mercy of Sudarshan Chakra if we want protection and empowerment to do our service. Because he does his service perfectly. Yeah. And he's also known as Chakra Talvar. He's like Acharya, in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. He has 2 wives. He has 1,000 arms. Very beautiful form. So he's not just, Sudarshana is not just a disc. He's a great personality. I mean, so are the weapons of the Lord. But Sudarshan is especially empowered to understand the conscious mind of the Lord and act. And whenever Sudarshana is released, I'm not just talking about in these pastimes. Sudarshan, even nowadays, they do Sudarshan Yagya, Homa, like that. So whenever Sudarshan is released, Krishna, my astrology teacher keeps saying, Krishna takes full responsibility for Sudarshan's actions. So Sudarshan has this capacity, like for example, removing black magic, protecting an individual from health situations, ill health, all these kind of situations. Sudarshan just burn down problems. Okay. Any comments or questions? We can end with this last paragraph. As the Lord contended at close quarters with his foremost Vaikuntha associate, the watching gods and sages, unaware of what was really happening, called out, "May victory attend you! Pray, dispatch him. Play no more with this one." Let's pause there. So even the demigods have no clue who is this Hiranyaksha. They have no clue that the Lord knows everything. And they don't even know the mind of the Lord, that the Lord is playing here. The Lord is like having a good time, He's been waiting for this good fight for a long time. He's having fun. And the demigods are anxious because for them it's a matter of life and death. But for the Lord, it's like a Leela, right? That's why it's called Leela. Similarly, even in our life, sometimes we're wondering, Krishna, where are you? Why you're not protecting us? Why you're not stopping this particular situation that's bothering me, right? And Krishna is just watching, having fun, looking at our character defects take over. say, let's little bit wait a little longer and see what this devotee is going to do. So Krishna is always confident. He's self-aware. He's fully aware of the past, present, and future, unlike us. We get stuck in knowing only about the past and the present. We don't know what is the future, but the Lord knows. So trusting in our Divine Father who wants the best for us. So let's pause here for today and resume tomorrow. And meanwhile, let's pray to the lotus feet of Lord Varahadev to give us the strength to do his will, to protect our consciousness and to uplift our consciousness from the darkness of ignorance that we've fallen into, and rescue us just the way he rescued Mother Earth. May he rescue our bhakti. May he rescue our devotion to him. And this Purushottam, may he bless us and empower us to perform devotional service with the right intention, right motive, so our actions can be pleasing to Guru and Krishna. Thank you very much for your attention. We will stop here today.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
If you don't have any comments or questions, we will end the meeting.